Hi, I'm Seamless, and today is Sunday, which means it's time for another weekly live stream. And I'm supposed to do two, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. And it's been a bit hard lately because my internet's been so shitty. But today I'm gonna continue the track from scratch that I started yesterday, which was largely for a test, but I kind of like where it's going. And don't worry, I will do the glitch hop again. It's not gonna die. I've gone too far. But yes. So today, that's what I'm doing. And here's the oops, there's my desktop. That happened. That's what happens when you click and drag things. I have the chat up because similarly, I don't have my second monitor up. Although I probably could have set that up between yesterday and today, except that I woke up half an hour ago. So, all right. Let's do this. So here's what we got so far. That's literally it. I've got this bass that I made. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. And then I got this resample version of it. So this is really all that we have for this track so far. And this. Not super sure where I'm going to go with it. Is this the resample? This is the resample. Is this the resample? That's that weird bass. Alright, here's the resample. I want to try something. Link parts. That could be interesting. Maybe not. I'll consider that. I do want to make some kind of simple-ish bass to work on the low end of what I have here currently. Because I don't know where to throw in these crazy like growly basses. Like I don't know about that yet. I know that I will. I just don't know where. Is this what I want to do? That's not what I want to do. It's a little better. See, wake up. Yeah, let's do that. So I think I'm in D. I believe I'm in D. Delete these chords for a second. Because that's not dumb as hell, but let's bear with this. I have something happen. What's with this weird, slightly off? Tell you to match now when I have drums. Let's make an animation clip, not for the entire song length, but for the length of this area here. This could be interesting. Let's do sharp ones. Up, up, down, up, up. Here, here, there. I gotta go turn off smooth mod. Of course, it doesn't help that this isn't being sidechained, so it's gonna sound all weird in the mix. I just want 6. Oh, fine. 603. It's fine. That's whatever. Not what I wanted. 1, See, perhaps using the low pass before the distortion doesn't quite get the results that I want. Yeah. That was an unexpected result. Interesting. Coughing in the mic. That's such a good practice for a on-screen personality. That's like the best idea ever. Let's check the chat, see what's happening. Don't do drugs, kids. Do vitamins. Be rebel. Do vitamins. How is Fruity Convolver different from other reverbs? Convolution reverb. Google it. Basically, convolution reverb works by, like, for example, when I was looking through the reverb types of the Convolver, it brings me to this folder. I have all these things. What these are recordings of real spaces where someone fired a starter pistol, and the same starter pistol. So like when they fire in these different locations, it makes different reverb. And the Convolver, when you load in this sample into the Convolver knows what the original starter pistol sounded like, or close enough. And so it knows what the unreverbed and compared to the reverbed version sounds like. So it's able to extrapolate what the reverb did to the sound. And through this extrapolation, it's able to convolute audio coming through it to apply that same reverb process to it. So it's kind of like using, we're basically like having the real reverb. It's not exactly like having real reverb, but it's close enough. For what we're doing, it's close enough. That's what convolution reverb is. All right, so people, I'm mostly checking to ensure that the stream's not like dying or something. So far, we haven't dropped any frames, just like yesterday, which is just like astounding. Because I mean, the past streams have just been total crocs of shit. See, that's very interesting. Let's do something better with this, though. That's interesting. Of course, if I want to get real fancy, I could just have not any speed on and just modulate the width. The harmonic version responds to movement in the unison. So I'm basically doing a phase verb. Let's go to my old phase verbs. See, this needs to not be linked to anything. Yeah. Old ones. See, this is what I liked. I used this in other. See, this one's cool because it's got the phaser going, but you see it kind of stops in areas and it gets blurry on top. That's because I'm using the phaser mask, which determines where the phaser can and cannot be. And it does interesting things. See, I like this movement here, but it doesn't need to be here. I don't think this needs to be here at all. This is one of those sparse sort of things. my chords probably don't fit here anymore. Yeah. Now this sound, I'm hearing kind of a sound that goes underneath the chords. And I believe I might actually have another preset that works for that in the unison section. That was kind of like one of the ones I was trying to build at the beginning with the detune bass. The way this sound works is I've got unison on. I turn it off really fast so that it's constant once it goes down. You can see that this curve here is when it goes down. And then I have the harmonic detune engaged. And what this does is it moves the frequencies away from the harmonics. So like if I had this on 0, there's nothing. But if I move it, you see that it moves the harmonics away from the lowest note, which is the fundamental. So if you move it just slightly away, it has sort of the same effect as detuning two notes together. Only instead of detuning two notes, we're detuning pretty much the lowest note versus the rest of the note. It can be kind of fun. The only issue with it is that like it does make it sound like it's out of tune. Let's see how well this fares against the chords. That's kind of what I want to do with it. No. Well, this is the 3, isn't it? Yeah. Let's put you in sidechainy place. Am I still saying the chord? See, it sounds a little off tune. I guess I could try and make it sound like it's intentional, but like. It's also dead center, so it's like. That's a little better. That's a little weird. I mean, it's working, but it's still a little weird. That reverb on the main bass is a bit much. Let's go mess with that a little. Although we could use a trick that BT included me in on, where we make a peak controller, and we tune the peak into the wet control of the reverb. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to make it so the reverb only happens when there's not the sound playing. See, right now it's playing when there's only sound playing because it's not inverted. That's the opposite of what I want to do. There it is, negative. Yeah. See, like now it's only on when the sound's not playing. pretty cool. Like I said, that was a trick that BT came up with. Pretty much the first thing he thought to do when he figured out that the peak controller worked the way it did. He's like, I want to do this. Apparently, it's a thing he'd been trying to do for a while. That it was not possible to do automatically, at least easily. In Logic, I guess, was because that's the thing he uses. I just realized that the master was all the way down for some reason. Now we're getting somewhere. And I like how we still haven't used any of the original bases that we made. Like, actually none of them at all. I haven't used this one, I haven't used the resample, and I haven't used that guy yet either. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I don't know. I mean, I could probably find something to use, but I can't. It doesn't feel, they don't feel like they fit anymore. Let's see what the chat's saying. Suddenly Loud. Get BT on the stream. It's a pretty good idea, actually. I'll have to ask him. Hi, I'm Seamless, and today that's what everyone said. So says my doppelganger on the chat. Will my EP have any glitch hop? No. It has that 110 track that's a collaboration with Celldweller, but that's 110, not necessarily glitch hop. Slug bass. I love your beard. Oh, thank you. My beard loves you too. Can you try making a spaghetti tomato base? I don't know what that is. Oh, I'm sad about the glitch hop. When will the EP be out? It'll be out on March 18th, which is 16 days from now. That's right, Celldweller. He did vocals on the 110 track, which is called Death Blow. I can call it that because it has a name now. I've been calling it that 110 track this whole time because that's what everyone else has been calling it. It's called Death Blow. That's what it's called. Trying to mix the track right now, and I can't get the peak meter to stop being orange. Well, turn it down. How much is the EP? I don't actually know. Oh, it's probably a thing I should find out. It'll be released on Fixed, Celldweller's label, F-I-X-T. What about Stream Dream? That's also on the EP. Let's see. Codename Hurricane, otherwise known as 14917, is on the EP. Death Blow, otherwise known as the 110 bell track, is on the EP. There's another track called Momentum. The EP is called Momentum, and then this the track called Momentum. It's an electro track, is on the EP. Then there's Eradicate and Eliminate. I don't remember which is which because their names are so similar. That was a smart move on my part. What is that? That's one of them is a dubstep track, and the other one is a drum step track. And then Stream Dream I mentioned. Am I missing? No, that's all of them. Yeah. Okay. Actually, I guess I can show you a preview. Let's do that. I have actually a preview that I have. This is kind of a super secrety thing. If people know to look for it on this thing online, there'll be a video for it pretty soon. But this is the EP preview. Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? And that's the preview. That last one is a track called Remember, which you might remember as being 128-107, which is I put up a whip of that on my SoundCloud a long time ago. But that's the preview. Full DEP. It'll be a badass video for that. That's the point. The fixed guys are gonna put that together. It's gonna be cool. Can I just transfer my entire bank account to you? Well, there are technologies in place to allow you to do that. He remembers that Remember track. That's good. That's good. That's the theme. Awesome. So I hope you enjoyed that preview. Let's get back and do the track. So. So I want to do something to the master. I just don't want to do the master. Let's do it inside. I don't plan on mixing my sidechain in this one, so let's do this. About mixing my sidechain, I mean, I'm basically I don't plan on I'm going to route everything in the sidechain, and I don't plan on mixing the levels of the sidechain, which would be difficult to do when I have a compressor on the sidechain bus that's actually doing something. Like the limiters are there as a compressor, but the limiting side is off and the attack is at 0, which means that it's not introducing any latency into the mix. So if I wanted to, I could route something into the sidechain bus and the master to combine dry and tight chain levels, sort of vary the sidechain levels in between each individual thing. However, introducing Maximus introduces latency, and if I do that, then you get phasing problems if you do the mixing thing. So I don't plan on doing that. So this should be fine. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to mix. I want to compress pretty much the low end of all the synths together so that it's a consistent, even thing, and to keep things even and level. That right there confuses me. I'm pretty sure. Nope. That's what I wanted to do right there. I put the Maximus, the multi-band compressor, on the sidechain bus, which is essentially all the synths in the sound, before the sidechaining. So the sidechaining is like super precise and super relevant. And by relevant, I mean the point of sidechaining is not just to give you the impression that something sounds loud because it's ducking everything, but the point of it in this particular instance is to make mixing easier by carving a hole in the sound that fits, you know, the kick and the snare, the two loudest elements in the track. And that makes mixing a hell of a lot easier. Man, I love multi-band compression. Yes. And, you know, I mean, you saw that I turned off the saturation so that like it's the sidechain bus is going a bit above 0 dB, just a little bit, not a lot. And then I turned down the sidechain bus, and that isn't because I wanted to be below 0 dB. Is that because I actually wanted to be below the drums? This is something that I thought of actually when I was looking at the SoundCloud waveform for Skrillex's Syndicate track, and that's because if you listen to that track sounds super unbelievably loud, but like it also looks like it has a lot of dynamic range in it. And one of the reasons why that works is because the kick and the snare hit way higher and hotter than pretty much any other element in the track, and so like the punch level is insane. And that's because the peaking of the drums is just much higher than the synths in the track. I don't want to go as hard as that, but I do want the drums to be the driving force of the track, so I want their peaks to be higher than the sidechaining. And of course, the drums are being saturated to stop at 0 dB. And it isn't because I want them to stop at 0 dB. It's because the sound of the snare changes when its peak gets thrown above 0 dB like that. And it's because it's being distorted at the stop at 0 dB, and like that sort of sound that comes in the snare. I mean, it's already in the snare because that's what the snare sounds like to begin with, but that's a distortion of artifact. So I'm basically accentuating that by having distortion on 0 dB. And the level, the effectiveness of that sound, of that kind of effect, is determined by how far above the threshold it's being thrown. So like I could have moved the ceiling to be higher than 0 dB. That's a threshold. Move the ceiling to be higher than 0 dB, but or I could have moved it lower. But the effect for right now, for my sensibilities, the effect is that the sweet spot is at 0 dB. So that's right, it's there. And so I want basically the drum picks are at peaking at 0 dB, and I want the sort of the overall meat of the synths to be below the drums. And then they're being, crushed again by the Maximus on the master. But how it behaves going into the master is a pretty big part of how the sound works. So here's actually what it sounds like without the Maximus on the master. You can tell that the drums are hitting a lot harder than the synths. So that's the reason behind all that. Does anyone have any questions on that before I move on? Straight cables are a pain to keep organized. Yep. But he got them for Christmas, so he's not going to complain. People are talking about headphones, I guess. Why do you like your DnB basses exactly 174 BPM? I just figured, I mean, that's what I've always done drum and bass at, so I just do it like that. I know some people do 175 or 180. And actually before I like pick the uniform BPM, I would do all kinds of random stuff like 160 and like 150, that kind of thing. Graph of the Maximus to the point. With the points, I'll talk about that in a second, I guess. How did you make that main bass so percussive? I'm automating a filter. That's what that automation you're seeing up top here. That's a filter on post. It's actually a free filter, one of these guys, and I'm automating it sharply on every hit. Okay, so let's talk about this compression and Maximus. So like I talk about this a lot, but I'll briefly go over it. Briefly go over it like right now. Maximus is unique because most compressors, when you see it, will get you this graph. And this graph is an in-out graph. So we see this line right there represents the transient input level, like how loud it goes. And then this line tells you the output. So like right here, this is outputting at let's see, I put the maximum at 6 dB. I can bring it down to 3 dB, a maximum 6 dB. So it's coming in at like 2 dB, like up here, coming in like that. But I could be like, no, you're gonna go all the way up to 6 dB, and then it will. So now it's being pulled up by this graph. But most compressors, you would get this graph, and it'll be the result of manipulating things like the threshold, the ratio, the knee, and all that kind of stuff. And you move the knobs, and it moves the graph. And actually, that's how the limiter works. That you get, see that's that little thing that shows up. That's the same graph as this. And what this has decided to do in Maximus is that instead of having knobs that move the graph, you just move the graph. And so then you're having a direct impact on the input versus the output of the sound by the graph. And this is essentially wave shaping. Because if you look at the wave shaper, I'm sure I have one somewhere, but I'll put up a new one. The wave shaper is the exact same graph. Like I could even do the same overall. Let's try out snap. I could even do the same like positioning that this graph is doing. And the only difference between the Maximus and the wave shaper is that Maximus has attack, release in the head, and delay times and all that stuff. It has time processing, whereas the wave shaper does not. It is immediate. It is instant. And moving volume levels that fast is distortion. So that's why wave shaper is a distortion. And you can actually make Maximus do that by turning it down all the time levels. Like you can make it basically be a wave shaper, but this is more or less how that works. Maximus. Really, what? I just got rid of the Maximus on the master. I'm a smart person. Well, I guess I'm doing the Maximus. I'm doing the master mix again. Doop. Maximus, being a multi-band compressor, lets you have this sort of graph interaction on all three bands. And you saw me do stuff like on the synth thing. I basically turned on the double curve and did that, like this sort of business. And like this is not something that you can do with a regular compressor. I guess Ableton has a similar compressor type called the up-down compression, which is basically this, which is when it's below a certain point, it gets brought up, and when it's above a certain point, it gets pushed down. Like that's what up-down compression, I guess, would be. But you can do wacky shit with Maximus that, like, for purposes of mastering things, it's probably not necessary. This knob that I'm messing around with is the stereo separation knob. So on the low end, I'm monoing it so that all the bass is in the center. And then on the mids and highs, I'm sort of spreading it a little bit. I like to spread the mids a lot more than I spread the highs. Like normally you would think to spread the highs hugely, but I like spreading the mids because it makes you feel it more because the lower frequencies have more power in them. So that means when you hear them spread around, like especially these guys. I'm pretty sure you can hear stereo in the stream. I know you can on YouTube, so I mean, people watching that will be fine. Now these huge like gaps in the low end we're seeing right there, that's actually the snare side chaining happening. Which is fine. For most music, this would be atrocious, but for this is pretty okay because the snares in this particular genre, and also like most EDM, have a lot of low end in them. So having them fit everything together like that works out pretty good. Talk, please. Seamless. Full stereo. I apparently have a kid now. Megan Fox. That would be pretty good. I'd be okay with that. Mini host modular. Okay. Let's hope Sean doesn't see that. What am I talking about? So yeah, now we have this. Still do this guy. Okay, so I guess if we're gonna go with this as being the drop, and we gotta make an intro. I guess I can make some variation first. Let's do that. Everything changed. That's because for this sound anyway, this guy. It's a time-based effect on the phaser, and the phaser is always moving. And so if I move over to 38 seconds, we're moving 38 seconds worth of phaser. So that's gonna be weird. I'll have to deal with that in the future. I have a plan. See, playing the kick and the snare, like the main kick and the snare, too close to each other, increases the amount of output, like transient. You can probably even look at it in the drums. It got way higher because the kick takes some time for it to like actually go away, and so if the snare plays before it actually completely goes away, you get that happening. There's a way around this. Actually, there's a perfect way around this. We're going to go into the cut section. See, cut which group? Let's see, you're going to cut. Let's see, what group are you? You're 4. So you're going to cut 4. And you're going to get cut by 4. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. That does make sense. Well, actually, I just want 4 to cut 3. So I'm going to go 3, or 4 rather. Cut which group? Cut 3. So now when the snare happens, it's going to turn, it's going to stop the kick. Perfect. Completely perfect. Almost perfect. You can see it's still kind of transients up there, but it's it doesn't audibly sound destroyed when I do that, so that's why I did that. More or less accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. Just make a little mess in the middle here. And there's the bass it's recycling over to in the beginning. Maybe I'll do something with that in like a fill or something. I don't know. I feel like putting this over here. That could stay there. There. That's pretty good. Yeah. Could also use the granulizer, which is not this one that I use. Which one did I use? This is basically the resampled sound, only granulized. Yep. It's kind of neat sounding. It's like super duper, like not even in the mix, but let's see, it's being sidechained. That's an interesting sound. What do you think? Definitely gotta like bring this out somehow more. Let's reduce the amount of these guys happening. Interesting. What's the chat got to say? I heard his father is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Syncopate that desk shaking bass. Seamless makes a very little volume. It's true. I actually was thinking about turning the mic off for a second, listening to it at full volume because I'm not totally sure how this sounds. Hi, Seamless. Hello, Kixo TD Dragon. T Dragon. One. Okay. I will listen to this at full volume. This is me turning off my mic so there's no echo. I feel pretty good about that. Making it higher solved a lot of the problems. This still sounds pretty good, and one of the reasons why it was fairly inaudible is because it was still so low frequency, but that worked out pretty good. And also making the fill bases, the low register instead of the high register, which is what I was doing, that worked out pretty good. I dig the mix so far. I'm pretty happy about that. What's the chat say? Guys, there's a cool new DJ named Skrillex. Check him out. Vocal in my voice, maybe later. If you like Dave, you should check out Hacked. I don't know who that is. Why does FL even go up to freaking 522? I don't know what that means. I am seamless, and today I would call it sexy as fuck or something. What CPU do I have? I have a good question. What CPU do I have? i7 377K. All that's good stuff. I noticed off topic, but I need the equipment on interface and guitar lead to be able to play my guitar in FL. Nope. You just need an interface and a cable. Just as long as the interface has, you know, a high Z input. That's the important thing. Oh, 522 has a BPM. The reason why FL limits you to 522 BPM is something to do with the code and the way that they do tempo animation. Like there's some limitation of like Delphi, and it's weird. Yeah. I actually have a tutorial on Maximus. It's in the FL Basics. If you want to learn more about Maximus in particular, I have a lot of that. I have it's a 2-part series on compression. I talk about the limiter and I talk about Maximus. So go look in the on my YouTube channel, SeamlessR/YouTube, which is youtube.com/SeamlessR, which is only useful for you people in the chat because people watching it right now on YouTube are already on YouTube, so that's weird. In my playlists, I have one. It's FL Basics, and in the FL Basics, there's one non-compression. I don't remember what number it is, which should be easy to spot. Yeah, the old versions of FL went up to 999. They're aware that that's a severe limitation, but it's not. It's a physics problem, I guess. I'm not totally sure. Automate tempo on this track. I hate tempo animation. I don't hate the effect of it. I kind of like how it works out, but I just hate doing it. And again, this might just be because it's FL in particular is not good at it, but like causes more headaches than it's worth. Totally make a tutorial for like huge uplifting pads. Well, if I ever make any huge uplifting pads, then that'll be the tutorial. All right, back to the track. Let's try and make some intro. So we got about 15 minutes for the end of this particular episode. So let's make an intro. I'm going to move this thing again. Actually, let's not do that. I'll just use this space over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn it. I have to move it at least a little bit. Okay, well. All right, I have kind of an idea of how this will work out. I'm not used to doing this stuff. Yeah, I'm not used to dealing this stuff. I say with a weird inflection. And then the chords. I like how my automation and the chords like as far away from each other as possible. And like this is all for the granular thing, which is down here. I am organized. There we go. This is already kind of shaping up to be like the intro of Tachycardia. Why? Okay. All right. Control CV. We need some sounds. We need some like creepy, like backgroundy kind of things. Let's go look at there's actually a thing that might be useful for this. I have a sample pack called Sonics. It's a cell dweller pack. There's lots of cool stuff. That was kind of interesting. There's like a drones and stuff. Yeah. Of course, some of these are like an hour long. Kind of like Calm Before the Storm. I'll have to pitch this up to D. And then there's another sample pack, Leviathan, by Black Octopus Sound, or is it? Yeah, that has a lot of really badass like impact sounds that I like a lot. I didn't make any of these. Kind of like that one. Maybe even like. And there's actually a couple of really neat short effects. That's those. We have risings and reverse and fallings and all these good things. What are these? I want to be extra cool. Do like. I've never done stuff like this before. I'm good. I'm good. I'm not about that. Now let's see. In drums, let's see one shots from it. What's my one shots? I want synth one shots. I want drums one shots. I'm like not paying attention for snares. They have like shifted. So I can like have just the shift. I don't necessarily want the snare to hit. to give an interesting kind of like. I've like never had a reason to use any of this stuff before, and I really feel like I should, so that's why I'm doing it now. And just like cut them up and not take a snare. Or something. Actually, if I want to get real special, let's take this guy. This guy. Although, putting them in here like this is probably going to cause a lot of problems with the mix because of the super compression that I'm using. But let's do it anyway. I have no idea what's going to happen. I have an idea of what's going to happen, but I don't know precisely. And I'll take a kick hit from the real drum loop. Oh, wasn't it? Oh, that's the... I'm a smart person. But that weird bass fun like behavior that we're hearing right now is a result of it trying to like deal with being in the sidechain compression. I suppose no. I need to. I mean, I do want to do that, but that's not going to work. So what I need to do is I need to have this needs to be in its own bus, and then have it be sidechained by the kick. Where's that bad pass? Yeah, I can see that working. So I guess we're gonna do 2 of those. Like, I don't know how long I want this intro to be. I could try to go for the short intro. I'm not totally sure. I am, however, sure that I'm not going to use the free filter for the filtering. I'm actually just going to do EQ because I want to do more complex filtering. No. guess I do want the hit to happen again. What if I use the same reverse thing while this is happening? Let's see what that sounds like. It's the same everything. I think if I'm gonna do that though, then I want to introduce additional like shitty stuff. These are all tonal things, right? Yeah. These are all like risers. That's not what I want. Let's go to that Sonics pack because this has lots more like hard hitting like. That's pretty dope. Ooh, some of these. For my purposes. It's actually this is gonna get some Valhalla. Shimmer. That's weird. Yeah. I hate doing intros. I hate doing things that aren't drops. That's what I hate in life. So let's have a listen to the drop again. We'll call it a day because it's 7:30. Here we go. I should turn this guy off because it's not actually gonna be in the drop. Let's turn off the EQ that's on the doofers. This is interesting, as most things tend to be. This is kind of how song creation goes for me. I don't really know what I'm doing until it's done. What's the chat say? Reverb bass god VST. Michael Jackson situation in his hands. Needs to be more dank. Valhalla. Scariest reverb ever. Ocular EDM is back because he went to get dinner. Neveland. I wish it was Neveland. I want a Neve. Epic song. Thank you. I'm sure it'll be more epic when it's not as weird. Or maybe it'll just stay. Maybe it'll just be as weird forever. That'll be a thing. This kicks ass. What? He's so into it. He's so into it. Awesome. Well, this is pretty much it for today. I'm supposed to be doing these every Sunday. I did one yesterday because I don't have a guest, but I'll try to get a guest for next Saturday. There'll be a guest live stream. I don't know if I'm going to continue this one next Sunday. I might do the glitch hop track. I should probably do the glitch hop track since it's the one that started out before this one. But yeah. If you have any questions about any of this guy's a question. What do you think about using Middle Eastern choir in the intro? Maybe it's a possibility. Possibility. I do have Voices of Passion from East West. And there's a lot of interesting voice of things in there. Yes. So anyway, if you have any questions about any of this, let me know. As usual. Have a nice day.